spare the rod and spoil the child. In a village called Abelardo, there lived a very rich man named Deji Bankole and his wife named Funmi. They had a daughter named Ronke. Beautiful is an understatement, and stunning is a meiosis to describe her. People in the village called her the fallen angel. She was extremely beautiful with a shiny appearance. Any time she passed or is in a gathering, she is always noticed, but she was a spoilt brat. Mr. and Mrs. Bankole have spoilt their daughter so well. She lacks manners, doesn't have respect, and also very lazy. They employed maids to attend to her every beck and call. One time, her mother found her in the kitchen, and the kitchen maid was fired instantly, and they employed another one. Her mother told the maids that she doesn't want her daughter to suffer. She was the only child they had, so she isn't allowed to lift a pin. If not for Ronke maturing, the maids would still had continued bathing her. Not that her mother minds it, but Ronke disagreed. Ronke has reached the age of marriage, yet her suitors fear her because it was said that if you offend her in that village, then it is over for you because Deji would make your life miserable. But people were still coming because of her beauty, and anybody that marries her becomes the co-heir to her father's wealth, unless she decides to hand the heir rights to her husband. The Bankole daughter's beauty has reached the ear of the neighbouring village, and it reached the ear of a con man called Bio. Bio was a handsome young man who was also cunning. He earned a living off scamming people. One morning he went to get something and met a very beautiful shouting at an old man in the market for stepping on her and was beating him. He intervened but got the insult of his life from her, and the girl was Ronke. And when she was leaving, he asked who she was, and his friend said, "Ah, you don't know this girl," his friend said. "I don't understand. Why should I know her? Does she share money?" Bayo asked. "Yes, more than that, but she doesn't share. It is just that anybody that marries her has hit the jackpot," his friend said. "So gis me na." "How?" "And stop keeping me in suspense," Bayo said. So his friend narrated everything to him, telling him about her family and what is in it for anyone who marries her. And then Bayo smiled and said, "I have found a new catch, although it tends to be a whale," he said, smiling. So he went home and started thinking of a plan to approach Ronke, and the only plan he came up with was to become her stalker, so he could get more information about her. The next morning he set out to Abelardo. On his way, he heard the women coming from the stream, discussing that Ronke was there and she felt like having her bath in the river. So he went towards the river, and saw Ronke there with her maids attending to her. He was surprised that even the little stuff that she can do herself, the maids had to help her. He started wondering if she wasn't paralyzed as well too. So he saw a snake near the tree and caught it, because the maids had to leave, but not too far after they have given her everything she needed to take her bath. He waited for her to finish taking her bath. As she stepped out of the water, he put the snake on the ground and it crawled and bit her on her leg. She shouted and fell on the floor. The man came out and helped her, and he sucked the poison off with his mouth and spitting it on the ground. After that, he caught the snake, killed it, and rubbed it there. He helped her to his house at the neighbouring village and nursed her wounds. He took care of her. She was unconscious for 2 days at his hut. When she woke up, she started screaming, saying, "Where is this place?" And so she started saying she wants to go back, and he said, "Okay, I would let you," so he took her back home. Back at home, Mr. and Mrs. Bankole have told the village elder about their missing daughter, and the village youth have conducted a search for her. As they were searching, they found Bayo holding Ronke on their way to her house, and they thought he kidnapped her, so they dragged him to the house. But to her parents' surprise, she defended him. She said, "Daddy, he saved me. He isn't the bad person. He even brought me home." Even Bayo was also left in shock after she said that. Unbeknownst to Bayo, that Ronke has already fallen in love with him, so they let Bayo go. Ronke sat with her parents. "Did he touch you?" Scaling through her body, her mum said, "No, Mom, he didn't. This one that you have been defending him." "Have you fallen for him?" Mr. Bankole asked. "Yes, Dad. And I have decided to be with him for the rest of my life, Dad," Ronke said, smiling like a little child. "What is his family background? Like, who are his parents?" her dad asked. Ronke said if you can invest in him, then he can produce results. Okay, I would do anything to make you happy, my love. But I would give him 2 months. If there is any result, you can go ahead and marry him, Mr. Bankole said. Then he hugged his daughter. The next day, they invited Bayo for dinner and he came. As they were eating, Mr. Bankole asked, "Do you have any business idea in mind?" "Yes, sir, I do." "I'm thinking of going into the textile business as a wholesaler," Mr. Bankole replied. "That's good. I'm going to invest in you because you helped my daughter. But on the condition that I give you 2 months to see your progress, and when you have progressed well, I would like you to marry my beloved daughter, Ronke. Do you agree?" the father asked and smiled. "Thank you, sir. Yes, I agree too," Bayo said. 2 months later, Bayo's textile business was booming. He became the richest and well-known textile seller, and he was rich, so he came for Ronke's hand. In marriage, their wedding was the talk of the town. Bayo took Ronke home. He didn't even touch her on their wedding night, and she turned into a slave in the house. When she asked him why he was doing this, his response was that, "I know you just want me for the money and that you don't love me." And he then told her about the plan he hatched from the beginning, and that he was also the cause of the snake bite, and that he was doing this because she thinks everything is about her parents' money, and that all the people she treated badly, that he was helping them pay back, including him, and that he was teaching her the manners her parents failed to teach her, that she was just a stepping stone to his success and that he would never see her as his real wife. Ronke was shocked, and she cried, regretting all her actions and blaming some on her parents. The truth was really bitter. Will Ronke find the strength to escape her cruel husband and reclaim her life? Or will she remain trapped in a loveless marriage forever? And more importantly, will Bayo ever see past his own selfish desires and learn to truly love Ronke for who she is? Please like and subscribe to fill up your curiosity in the next part. You can also share with your friends so they don't miss the next part at Tales Promise Tells. Moral lesson: be careful of what you wish for. Ronke wanted wealth and status and she got it, but at the cost of a loveless, unhappy marriage. Don't judge a book by its cover. Bayo seemed like a hero to Ronke at first, but he turned out to be a scheming, manipulative husband. Treat others with kindness and respect. Ronke's poor treatment of others came back to haunt her when Bayo exacted revenge on her for her past misdeeds.